Now, what you're going to see in this video is a book review for Ryan McBeth's book, The Win Machine. Now, if you don't know who Ryan McBeth is, Ryan McBeth is a YouTuber. He talks a lot about what's going on in the war in Ukraine, but he'll also talk about Syria or China or other places. He talks a lot about cyber, about propaganda, about things that really matter in the news cycle. And if you're not a subscriber, you probably ought to go to @Ryan McBeth programming and subscribe if you're on YouTube. By the way, he's also on Twitter as well, and he talks about these kind of topics: why Indians excel at tech, or let's see, how Russia today influenced or infiltrated right-wing media, or a little bit about what's going on in Syria, or why Russia can't win in Ukraine. But he also backs what he says with facts. He's very good about explaining what he sees and why he sees it, and he's really worth listening to. On my channel, I also talk about Ukraine, and I have highlighted him a number of times. Now, I don't know Ryan personally. We might have. I mean, I know I've commented on some of his videos. He might have commented on something I say. I don't know that he has, but we don't know each other, so I'm neither trying to give him a black eye nor give him some undeserved praise in this video. It's actually a pretty good book. I've read voraciously. I'm a professor, and I have tracked how much I read over time. So I read at least 100 books per year. And then I've even started like giving him an A, B, C, or D. This is a good book. I'm convinced of that. Otherwise, I wouldn't go out of my way to do this. Okay, here's the summary of it, and then I'll explain a little bit more of what you're going to experience if you get a hold of The Win Machine. Mike Malloy's hedge fund is more than just a money machine. It's a weapon of insight, capable of forecasting global events with chilling accuracy. When Mike's proprietary software predicts an inevitable conflict between the United States and China, he faces an impossible choice: exploit the knowledge to secure the unimaginable wealth, or risk everything to avert a nuclear war. As financial markets teeter on the brink and global tensions escalate, Mike finds himself at the crossroad of ethics and ambition, with his closest allies questioning his every move and powerful enemies circling. He must decide: will he become the savior of humanity or the architect of its destruction? In The Win Machine, Ryan McBeth delivers a gripping techno thriller, and it is a techno thriller. I mean, that's a good way of describing it, that explores the terrifying power of technology, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the razor-thin line between profit and catastrophe. As the countdown to global annihilation ticks away, the ultimate question emerges: how far would you go to win? Okay, so that's The Win Machine. Now, it's got this really interesting crossing of like kind of a tech bros kind of feel with modern software and AI and that sort of thing, meets Tom Clancy books or movies. It has that kind of feel to it, meets kind of some of the really kind of out there but still somewhat believable concepts like of Marvel. It has that kind of, like, without being crazy and like multiverse, but as far as our technology can take us, with that kind of feel. And then with his army background and experience, you can feel that layered in with his cyber experience, that's layered in. It's really a good book. So I would highly recommend it. I'll put the link to that below this video if you're interested in it. I read it yesterday. Well, with over 24 hours, yesterday and the day before, I read the book from start to finish. And then I even went back and read some other parts from it again, because it was a really interesting read. So good on you, Ryan. If you're looking for a novel, this is not nonfiction. It's a novel. But it's a pretty compelling novel that will make you think. All right, thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to this review. I'm curious if you've read it, what you think about it, or what you think about what I've described. Please put that in the comments below. Thank you for your time, and the link to the book will be below.